Aloha and welcome. My name is John Johnson. I will be your instructor for ITS 124 slash ICS 184 for this fall 2025 semester. I would like to take you on a brief introduction to our Lamaku learning management system, as well as the Xi books that we're going to be using for the courseware for this course. So a little bit about myself first. My name is John Johnson. I've been an instructor here full-time since January. I was a lecturer here for about 2 years prior to that. I have worked in IT my entire professional life. I've worked for a local Japanese company here in Hawaii for about 26 years. So going back and forth between here and Japan. During that time, I wore a lot of different hats. I was a software developer. I built computer systems. I worked on the infrastructure, system administration, and network administration, software development. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I also, after finishing there, I went to the state. I worked with the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs as a CRM administrator. So I did that for about 2.5 years. And during that time, I was also a lecturer here at the KCC. So what I would like to do is now show you a little bit about our learning management system. So hold on just a second while I pull up that. So, pardon me. So here we have Lamaku. When you go to lamaku.hawaii.edu to log in, you'll present your credentials for your UH account, and then you'll come into this page, the initial splash page, where it's going to show all the courses that you're signed up for. So I'm teaching 6 classes this semester, so I have 6 panel, or 5, because 2 of them are combined. But the one that we're talking about here is ITS 124, so or ICS 184 as well. So if you click here and go into it, you'll see that we have a page set up like this. I'll have an announcement posted shortly. I wanted to include a link to this video, so I don't have it up there just yet. But the most important areas you'll have in here, number one, most important thing by far is going to be here, the announcements. You will see the announcements coming up here. Every Sunday, I try to set up an announcement to go out. It'll be telling you pretty much what we've covered, what we've got coming up. It'll keep you in the know on any changes or things you need to be aware of. Sometimes I post additional materials to help you better grasp certain concepts if the material is hard, like when we get into subnetting, things like that. But all of these things will be here in announcements. The problem with announcements are when I put out an announcement, it's going to be sent to you from the Lamaku system. It's going to look like a regular mail from Lamaku. A lot of people get Lamaku emails for each of their classes every day around 6 p.m. I think that's the default settings. And a lot of people, they don't find much value in it and delete it, not realizing that sometimes these emails are going to be the announcements that we're sending. So keep an eye out for that. If you're not doing that, at least come in here and look at our course site page here, where you're going to be able to look and see what the announcements are. Make sure you're in the know on everything that we've got here, okay? So the other important thing is the Xibooks link. You can find the Xibooks link over here under content. Let me switch real quick and go to view as a student so you'll see kind of like what you're seeing. So the important things we'll be using, as I mentioned, announcements, and you can use your courseware widget here. But when we look up here, we're using content. I don't believe we have anything under assignments or quizzes here or discussions. And grades, you can check and see what your grades are. But the most important thing here is going to be content. So when you click on content, the number one thing you should be looking at is here, our course overview. You get an idea of everything that we're going to be covering in the course. It gives our policies, the grading structure, what the grade is composed of. And then it gets into our tentative course schedule. So when you look in here, you'll see that you have the first day, which is today, syllabus review. Then after this, you need to start getting into the work. The pace at which you cover your reading doesn't really matter. If you want to do 1-1 and 1-2 and then 1-3 in the first day and then then do 1-4 and 1-5 the next day, try to get ahead, that's fine. Let's say you can only get through 1.1 and then on Wednesday you can do 1.2, 3, and 4. That's fine. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that we have chapter tests at the end of each of these chapters. And because we have that pace going, we have the chapter test aligned for a certain day. It'll be open on the day from the morning, from the start of that day, September 2nd, Tuesday. So Tuesday at midnight, it opens up and it's going to stay open until 11:59 p.m. that night. So you have all day Tuesday to work on that to finish it. And then we'll get into the, chapter two work. And then we'll have the next test for that on the 9th. So just keep your test dates in mind because those are extremely important. And when you look at the way everything is set up, this won't make sense to you right now, but we have participation challenge and lab points that are worth a total of, let's see, 40 or 47.5%. So a good part of your grade is just going to be these three things that I haven't explained yet, but you'll see that when we look at our courseware. We also have module quizzes, which are these chapter tests that I have down here. Each one of those is going to count as 25 points. We have 13 chapters, so you're going to have 13 of those module quizzes. Then we have the final exam, that's 20% of your grade, and that's 200 points. So yeah, again, look in here to get the idea of where you're going to be in your work. I've laid it out for every day of the semester, so you'll have an idea of what you should be covering to keep on pace for the course. Also, we go back and look at, well, not so much this. I want to show you the course itself. So if you click on Zybooks over here, this is again under content. If you look under Zybooks, you'll see that we have a link to it. It talks about the expense of it up here. The subscription is $97. It's going to get you from August 11th all the way up to January 14th of next year. So if we click on this, you'll need to sign up for it at first, but after you go through that initial sign up, from then on, it should bring you directly into the content. So I use Zybooks because Zybooks is very interactive. I really like this compared to other texts that we've used in the past. But the nice thing is you'll get into your subject for like example, the network topology. You'll have this thing called a participation activity. And you'll remember from what we were looking at just a minute ago in content under our course overview that when we look at the composition of our grade, the three things I said you wouldn't understand what they are. First one was participation points. That's 12%. So when we look over here, we've got these participation activities, and this corresponds to essentially clicking on start, reading the explanation of what's happening on your screen, and then when it's time, hit play to go to the next part, and it's building up this concept for you, caption by caption, image by image. So it's a nice way of illustrating it. You can click on 2x speed right here to speed it up if it's going a little bit too slow for you. Or if you need to review something again, you can click on the number for it and it'll go back to that and review the animation for you. So this is a participation activity. You also have participation activities that are question answer. And in here, it's nice to get the right answer, but it's also good to know why the wrong answers aren't working. So feel free to click on one that you know is wrong and see what happens. So for example, which term is a collection of nodes connected by at least one link? Well, let's say topology, because we know that's wrong. So we go over here and it tells us exactly why it's wrong. If you put computer, which we know is not right, it'll also tell you why this isn't wrong. Then you hit network and find, but you notice now it checked right here. So participation activities, feel free to get them wrong before you get them right, just to see why other things aren't correct. But then when you're finished with it, you get a check mark. Even if you go back to something else and answer it, it's not going to change the fact that you got full credit on that. So there's no excuse why you shouldn't get all your participation activities in. Then there's something called the challenge activities. Challenge activities, it looks like we may not have any. Oh, yeah, we do have one. Challenge activities are these things that build upon each other. So you have something here where you've got a part one and a part two, and there are a lot of different versions of it. So you click on start. It's going to say select the physical topology described in each scenario. A group of network nodes connected to a single cable or a single cable segment. So you can look down in here and you can see the different answers they have. So let's say we're going to say bus for the first one, central node connecting all other nodes. Then you're going to go over there and you're going to look for star, maybe, then a group of network nodes where each node is connected to exactly two other nodes. So you look in there, wait, which one is one where each node is connected to exactly two other ones? So you can choose one out of the, say a ring. So with this, you then click on check, and you'll see that you got them all right. I should have gotten one wrong just so we could show it. I'll do that. So after you've done that, you click on next, and you're going to go to the second level. If you had missed something, like we'll just randomly select things here, not even looking at the questions. But if you did, and you hit check, you would get a red highlight on the ones that you missed. It tells you what it expected and what it got. So this is good. The next time you want to do this, though, because you have to hit next to do this number two again, it'll supply totally different scenarios. So it's going to be all different for it's going to be different from the time when you missed it. So you get a large number of opportunities there. It's also good if you're wanting to study a little bit more. If you miss it, you can always get another example, and you can keep on working through problems that way. So this is a challenge activity. So this one also is 12% of your grade. If you look over here, you'll see that that's 12%. So lab points are considered 23.5%. So that's a considerable jump there. So labs are all the ones that are here marked as lab. So you click on the lab, and you're going to have two panes here. You're going to have the informational area on the left-hand side. It's got overview, learning objectives, background, and tasks to perform. You also have down here the page that you're working on. So we're on page 1 of 5. So that's the first thing. The other thing you'll notice is over here we have our VMs. Sometimes we have just one, sometimes we'll have multiple ones. So what we're going to do is you can click on connect to VM. Once you connect to it, it's going to say it'll take 2 to 3 minutes to get going, and that's fine. But in general, what you'll do is you'll read the different problems, then you'll click on the next page, and it gives very, very prescriptive things that you need to do on it. So select GNS1 from the drop-down menu in the right pane, which is up here, connect to VM, which we did, and now it's connecting to it. So this is how you go about you know, solving, but actually doing your labs. So if you have any trouble with these, always feel free to reach out and I can help you with that. I'm not going to wait here because it may take 2 or 3 minutes to connect to this VM. It also, on occasion, it will pop up a little message like disconnected, and it usually reconnects. If not, you can always click on the refresh to try to get that to work. Oh, there we go. We finally got it to come up. So you just go and you'd scroll through and do all the actions in here. So that is your again, that's your lab component, and that's worth I think 23.5%. Yeah, or yeah, 23.5%. So that is the courseware. And we've seen Lamaku, the LMS, the learning management system that we're going to use. So yeah, so that's pretty much all the course information that you need. One last thing, we will be having an in-person class for the hybrid section. The hybrid section, I believe, is the 122 section. So if we pop in class availability and look at our current semester, and we look at hybrid, yes. So ITS 124 is the hybrid section. So we're going to be having our first class on Thursday, 8/28 from 12:15 to 1:30, and we'll go over the syllabus during that time, and we'll talk about the semester coming up. And I'll also mention the fact that if you're an ITS major, a declared ITS major at KCC, and you're taking the certification exam, we will be reimbursing anybody that passes it. So we'll reimburse the test that you passed. So that can be, a good bit of money. So you're taking the chance by, taking it and paying up front. And if you do pass it, we'll reimburse you that cost under the circumstances we described about being an ITS major. So anyway, so I'll be meeting some of you on Thursday, 8/28 from 12:15 to 1:30. And that is pretty much the intro to this class. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me at jsj3@hawaii.edu. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Yeah, so that's it. I look forward to having you in my class this semester, and keep in touch and stay safe. Aloha.